I remember all of the things that I thought I wanted it to be. So desperate to find a way out of my world and finally breathe.
Our social justice theme is Man versus Society, which basically talks about a protagonist going against a common idea. This theme highlights the social issue of fitting into society and the importance of individualism. For the longest time, society has dictated how our youth should behave and what they should value. Majority of the time, if you don't cooperate with the social norm, you are labeled as an outcast or a weirdo. The negative labeling should not define the individual. He should be praised for being true to himself and not going just with what the crowd says. It is more important to be an individual than just one of the crowd members. Here are some members of the Alameda community and their ideas on this social issue.
I'm Chloe and I'm in 10th grade.
Okay, why do societal standards have such a strong influence on our youth?
I think because the youth of today, a mob mentality is really common, especially at the high school level. And if one person is doing something, then everybody else feels as if they should do the same thing. So that creates like the idea of social stratification, I guess, among high schoolers or among teenagers in our youth.
And I'm in 9th grade, and I think the reason why kids want to fit in is because no one wants to be alone and everyone wants to have a friend. So when you have multiple friends, you feel not so insecure about yourself and you always have people to back you up.
Individualism important?
Individualism is important because you don't want to be something that you're not, and you don't want to have the pressure of a different society, and you don't want to reflect that society that you don't want to be. So you don't want to represent yourself as something else, because that's just not a good thing, not a good thing to do. And you want to have, your own characteristics and your own beliefs, not someone else's beliefs or another culture's beliefs and ideals.
I feel like it's important to be an individual because you have to set your own standards, not really to follow other people, because that's how you become your own person. And if someone becomes their own person, they'll be more likely to be a leader and a role model for other kids, such as younger kids.
I think societal standards have such a big impact on the youth, especially teenagers, because peer pressure is big and teenagers tend to care a lot about what others think of them.
I'm a junior.
Why is it important to be an individual?
I think being an individual is important because, I don't know, you don't want to be like everyone else. You want to be yourself and experience the world in different ways than everyone else, and maybe you'll even get treated differently.
I think society is influenced by social media because everyone who's young has it, and there's a lot of news outlets on social media, and news outlets now portray society, and I feel like media gives society the wrong view of what society actually is.
Because kids are being brainwashed into what social media is telling them what to do. So that's all they're seeing on social media.
Individualism is important because people often are followers and they do whatever their friends do, and they get into peer pressure and do things that are bad. So it's important to just do things on your own, to focus on yourself.
Make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. Always had that dream like my daddy before me. So I started writing songs, I started writing stories. Something about that glory just always seemed to bore me, cause only those I really love will ever really know me. Once I was 20 years old, my story got told before the morning sun when life was lonely. Once